Had to be the one who wore all the clothes into the sauna. Yeah. Mondo. My new best friend. So sad.
Here's my answer. Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
I mean, I don't want to believe it either, but I found something that proves it beyond a shadow of doubt. How sad. Not this again. Oh no. Broken handbook, Chihiro's e-handbook, card reader.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
Yes.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine. See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Okay. I'm sure Mondo's handbook broke during the sauna shutdown. If I can just prove that, then we'll show the handbook Mondo has must actually be...
Goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, that's wrong.
Okay. Just do it like that. Whatever works, man.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own.
Oh, Leon's.
After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is...
Leon didn't loan it out.
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so.
I'm gonna miss Mondo.
I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch.
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That
Here we
way,
go.
everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
We're gonna do the reconstruction thing. And then we got that terrible rhythm game thing to do, which I don't know how to do at all. Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse with a duffel bag. There's something everyone has that you need to get into the locker rooms. Which locker room did Chihiro go into? Boys. The weapon the killer used was... And the murder took place, some blood splattered onto something. To disguise the truth, the killer switched around the carpet as well as something else, the posters. Which locker room did the killer move to? Girls. The killer took something from the other locker room and switched it at the scene of the crime. That's the poster. I don't know which way those have been to go, but whatever. It'll tell me if I'm wrong anyway. What was it that Byakuya brought to the murder scene? When Byakuya arrived on the scene, what did he use to disguise what had happened? Why would he do that though? Where'd the killer go after they were done? I don't know. Hell? The sauna. When the handbook got thrown into the sauna, what happened to it? He took it. Alright, let's try that.
Here's exactly what
I probably got some of those wrong, but we'll see what happens.
First, let's take a look back to before the incident.
Okay.
Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct? At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag. That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste?
It's still an hour-long episode. I apologize still. It's just how these cases go down, I
Bag in
guess.
hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room? Simple, because she was really a he, which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room.
Good.
Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him.
Okay, that was wrong. I'm down to frickin' 1.5 hearts here. The weapon the killer used was... That's the same thing, except it's not covered in blood.
Killer is you! Once inside, he met with someone.
God damn it.
And the person he met was the one who killed him.
I'm gonna run out of hearts.
It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from.
Yes. Not bum 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 bum.
It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned.
Why'd he do it then? I don't understand. Mondo was a great guy.
Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet. Then, removing the bloody poster. And finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course. But this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch.
fair enough.
That could have been the end of things, but no.
Dipshit here had to try and make it more difficult because he wanted to die.
Decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated.
Because he's got a death wish.
So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work.
This whole place is full of
He used the
psychos.
cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook.
Why didn't they just throw it into the furnace? Down to half a heart. Better get this one right. It's the last one. What happened to it? Nothing. It broke. You ass.
The killer is
Does that mean break?
you!
Looks like it fell on the floor. I'm gonna go with that's breaking
Around
though.
the same time that the killer...
Yeah, we did that.
And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow,
We still have to do the rhythm thing yet.
The handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna, and the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook, and that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Owada?
Well, we had half a heart left, but we did it.
No, this can't be right. Where's your evidence? Yeah, where's your evidence?
We just
You need
mentioned it.
evidence. You need proof. Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him.
Evidence that Mondo is the killer. That already revealed itself earlier in the trial. If I can somehow show where Mondo's handbook is right now, once I do that, everything will become clear. Bullet time battles. Go on then. Fever time and Niga time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate and the tempo will be forced to its max. At this point, if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push right mouse button, left mouse button, right mouse button, left mouse button, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. But this only lasts until your focus gauge runs out, so make sure you make the best possible use of your time. Won't be fair if you got access to special time, right? He also prepared something called Nega time that your opponent can use. If your opponent activates Nega time during the bullet time battle, your tempo marker will disappear, making it quite a bit tougher to hit the buttons in rhythm. If you would activate fever time at this point... No, never mind, I'm sure nothing would happen. I don't know what I was worried about. Unsurprisingly, if your action difficulty is set to gentle, your opponent won't use Nega time. Well then, good luck, and have fun. I'm gonna lose. I can't do this, I still don't know how it works.
Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. I refuse to vote. Show me some evidence. You're wrong. I won't listen. I refute you. False. Show me some evidence. I won't listen. False. You're corrupt. Show me some evidence.
This should prove it.
We got it! With no hearts at all. We got it. Somehow.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I did it. I killed him.
Why though? Shit, I'll take an A. I'm an A student in this school. Yes.
Bro, what are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait, hold on!
No waiting.
Why?
No holding on.
I want to know
Time
why.
for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank. Who will you
Doesn't that make you go
elect
blind?
as the blackened this time around? Will
Pretty sure that makes
make
you go
the
blind.
right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Poor Mondo.
What?
This time it looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. The blackened that killed Chihiro Fujisaki was Mondo Owada.
Unbelievable.
In case you're wondering, the vote was not unanimous. Kiyotaka chose the wrong answer. You're treading very close to the danger zone, Mr. Ishimaru. You need to be more careful. I refuse to believe it. There's no way he would kill someone.
What is this?
But why are you apologizing? Why? Why did you do it?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taken a vow of silence, so allow me to explain on his behalf.
Actually,
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. But for anyone who doesn't really want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward the text. What? That's very meta. Anyway, there was once a young boy, and his name was Chihiro Fujisaki. He had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak, even though you're a boy. He heard things like that even as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen this as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy, but no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him, and it was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak.
Weak, 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 weak.
Yeah, I get it. Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, the world is survival of the fittest. If you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like a girl, Chihiro was actually a boy. And that was something Chihiro could let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack and the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair. And yet...
I'm sorry.
I don't really want to talk about it right now.
But...
I don't want to leave things as they are, so maybe I'll talk about it later? After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the threat of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right. But
Now's
I
my
want
chance.
to change.
I'm gonna get stronger and accept who I am. Strong enough so that when someone says even though you're a boy, I'll be okay. I'll get better. With the thought of that at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action. And so... that day he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body, but sadly, that would be the first and only chance he would get at it.
hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help, but he wanted to tell that person his secret first, and then ask them to help him from there. And the person he went to...
that's right.
It was me. It sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were, so Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret.
uh-huh.
Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help me give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support could he ever become close to that. So then, that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he made to Chihiro. Huh? Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls' locker room? Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Wasn't that to cover up what he'd done? That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. How does moving the body keep a secret? If everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook. See? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed? Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you... Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know. So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
That's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know? Even if it meant killing someone? That's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
To judge others by your own standard is the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. While we're on the subject, what didn't I tell you? The embarrassing memory, that secret he didn't want anyone to know. You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble. But the only reason he had that chance to join a gang in the first place is because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother's name was Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of Daya that Mondo ever got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang. Before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, number one in the gang, and his number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy, but when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Almost every day Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why... I gotta get stronger. Stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win. I don't care what it takes. I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. Kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic. And suddenly... Why didn't he want to tell them that? Laying in his kid brother's arms, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad, kid. I fucked up. Sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's the team, you and me, put together. It's a promise between men. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang, in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident. As a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother. I'm strong. Strong, and yet... As soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on this secret. That secret wouldn't have made any difference to the rest of us, though. Mondo killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I'd been carrying around, would have been for nothing. So that's why... Mondo. After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and I just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach. And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there he told me a secret. Seriously? Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Sorry I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden? Because I mean, you've kept the secret all this time, right? If anyone found out, you would... You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak and I want to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. I felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, it can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us...
You piece of...
So what, you're saying I should just say it? You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness and try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I've never had. So I was jealous of him. And that jealousy broke me. You making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you fucking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mondo. Felt like I could hear someone starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did you want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
Wrong?
Damn you!
Why'd you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Right.
That's right, I am strong. Strong, I'm strong. Strong, 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 strong. Stronger than
Son
you.
of a bitch!
And stronger than Dyer. I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was laying at my feet covered in blood. I had the dumbbell in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground. Hey.
Killed him. I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Mondo. He was normally so aggressive, so angry. He hid that weak side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness that lived in a heart like his and it turned him cold-blooded. God damn it. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory, for that he killed another living human in cold blood. He could cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. You don't see hope anywhere in there, because I sure do. Do you see hope anywhere in there? You bastard. Just shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead. Say that again, I dare you. Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want. That's what I want to say. But unfortunately, I can't do that right now, because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing? You mean execution.
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disturbed the peace will be punished. Hold on.
Then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo Owada, the ultimate biker gang leader. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
I said wait!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Well, every time I start making a friend out there, they die. Every time I start making a friend out there, they turn out to be a crazy killer. I'm curious to see how they execute him, though. That's a little bit morbid thing to say, but whatever. At least he gets to die doing what he loves. Being on a motorbike. That's funny. What's gonna kill him? Oh no. Did you get electrocuted? What the fuck did they do to him? Okay, that's messed up. They'll liquefy him. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. Couldn't help laughing. It can't be. My brother. Another murder and another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Poor Taka. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, he had to. What a disappointment. This is the end of the game? But, Byakuya?
What is this?
You're completely insane, you know that? A game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that? Of course I do. Because this game is life or death. I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that I just don't understand why. Why'd you go to your way to discuss Mondo's crime? You wanted us all to die. It made things more interesting. His voice was calm, emotionless, like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bone. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual. So you ignored the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me, I don't recall agreeing to it.
There's nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care, please continue. The night grew late and I decided to return to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. You mean you actually witnessed the murder? You're such a fool. You didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning? Indeed. But if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. That's why I decided to lend a little helping hand. I thought it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up? So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create a fake murder scene? Damn, man. If we hadn't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point. Of course. Byakuya turned and looked me in the eye. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into me. Thanks to a certain remarkable someone, it never did, and I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become blackened, I now know who I have to watch out for. Yeah, you should kill me, and then no one will solve the thing. So that was your reason. Are you satisfied? We need to kill her too, she's good too. We're done listening to your story. Moving on. Something I'd like to ask Monokuma. Oh, I'm up next. You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like them? But, you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself. You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair. What do you mean? 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 Good grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as victor and then everything will be revealed to me. A noble son of a noble family. Truly, you understand me. I think this is the start of a terrifying friendship. Shut up, I would never stoop to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this. After I've achieved complete victory, you're up next. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand?
In the name of my family.
For which victory is a foregone conclusion. Oh, so cool, you're like the main character of a video game or something. No trash mob for you. I swear, whatever it takes, I will kill you. Temper. Sounds like someone needs a nap. Alright, we need to wrap this up, because this has gone on. Even though I cut this in half, it ended up going on for an hour and a half anyway. I cut half an hour off this. Monokuma's laughter pealing across the courtroom. But I knew that wasn't the end. The killing game would still continue, because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, our worst fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship, it felt like it amounted to nothing at all. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see.
So one of them is a plant. There's one thing I'd like to ask
you. Don't
you.
want to know my measurements. Fire away.
I'm kind of curious now. Who is it? The 16th high school student, I mean.
Ooh, my. You really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
Okay. Chapter 2's done, is it? Good, that means we can wrap it up. I'm sorry this ended up being so long anyway. I was desperately trying to make that not the case. But it happened anyway. It happens, I guess. Maybe I'll cut this down more. Maybe. We'll see what happens. I could cut it down more. But we're going to wrap this one up here. And in the next one, we will come back and we're going to have to make some new friends because all our friends are dead again. Till then, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.